Hey folks, it's Keith, Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, back with another edition of the Shaky Key blog. And I want to look at a question or an issue, I guess you can call it, that so many people face when they're learning Morse code today. And I think a lot of this is generated by the fact that most of us are now using either a computer program or an app on our phone or something to learn it. And the negative for doing that is, of course, you can keep score. As a matter of fact, some of these programs will tell you what percentage you got correct every time. You did the program, you ran the exercise, whatever it was, you get your percent. And people being what we are, we like to get perfect. We like to shoot for that 100. We've been taught all our life, you've got to get 100%, you have to get perfect. Some people become very, very frustrated. A lot of people just give up. And that's part of what I want to look at today, because it reminded me of an expression that I had heard many, many years ago, which was you don't get better to get on the air. You get on the air and get better. And I know certainly in my case, that was very, very true. Now, when we try for perfection, when we're listening to that 100% correct computer code, it's pretty easy to say to yourself, I've got to get all of this stuff perfect. And like I said, we can sit down and calculate what percentage. That was one of my big problems. I would actually sit down, take out a red pen, and I would look at what I had written down and go through and put the X through the letters or the numbers I got wrong and so on. And then I'd sit down and I'd add it all up and I'd come to a percentage. And I might get 90%, I might get 93%. It wasn't the attitude, wow, I did well. It became the obsession of I'm not getting perfect. And I see this with a lot of students. I get questions on this from students. I get questions, emails and so on that people send me. This is a very real problem for people. And the issue here is when we do it this way, when we do computers, when we do apps, for one thing, it's very impersonal. You're not doing it with another person. You're not sending Morse code to someone in a room and they're not sending it back to you. This is the way we used to do it, right? Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you got yourself someone that you could send Morse code to, or you sat in a classroom and you sent it back and forth. Code buddies, whatever term you want to use. But now you sit in front of your computer screen and you try and get perfect. The reality is, in real life, you're probably never going to get perfect. Or if you do, it's going to be really rare. What you will get is what you copied down, and you'll be able to look at it and your brain will fill in the odd thing that you missed. And when I give the example, someone says, you are, the letters you are, and then they send RST, and you miss the S, but then they're sending whatever, 559 or whatever happens to be. That was RST. Your brain will often fill in what's missing. But when you obsess all the time about getting everything perfect, few things are going to happen. And I hear this a lot. I see this on Facebook groups where someone says, I'm just too old to learn Morse code. No, you're not. I just can't do it. I'm not smart enough. Not true either. I'll never learn Morse code. Not true either. You need the perseverance. You need good study habits. You need to keep going at it. But there is that point when you're getting, let's say, 70% or more consistently when you're copying. If you can turn on your radio and you can listen to someone sending Morse code at a speed, obviously, that you're able to copy, somewhere, 10 to 12 words a minute. If you can copy most of what they're putting down and make sense of it, and you've gone through your course, whatever course of study it is, your letters, your numbers, maybe it's time to get on the air. We worry about this. We obsess about it. I probably spent in myself 6 months getting ready to get on the air. right? Studying and studying and studying and trying to get perfection. What I should have done was go on the air. Because very quickly you're going to find a couple of things are going to happen. Now, I'll say after you get over the fright of getting on the air, because when you get on the air, yeah, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make all sorts of silly mistakes that you'll kick yourself for after, but that's part of the learning process. But you're going to find very quickly you're copying what people are sending pretty well. You may even be copying much faster than you can send. For one thing, in Morse code, there's a lot of abbreviations. You learn to recognize them. Go back to that one, RST. You hear those three letters go, you know what it is pretty much instantly. Someone says, see you later, CUL. You recognize that as well. Someone sends fine business, FB. You recognize that one as well. So you do get better when you're on the air. Your sending will certainly improve when you're on the air because there's a real live person listening on the other end trying to copy what you're sending. So, make sure that you know your numbers, your letters, that type of thing. Improve, practice your sending, record your sending so you know that you're sending half decent. Make the leap. Take that leap of faith and get on. And I can tell you, when I'm in the SKCC site, there's a lot of people come in and I chat with them in private message and so on. And you want to make a contact and I can tell they're new, or they'll even say they're new. They might put QRS beside their call sign so we all know that they're slower. Does it make a difference? No. I've had great conversations with people somewhere between 5 and 8 words per minute. So, take that leap. When you know your stuff and you're getting 70% plus right consistently, take that leap. Get on the air. Have a bit of fun. Remember, this is a hobby. HOBBY. It's not a job. It's not life or death. It's a hobby. Study. Get reasonably proficient. Make that leap. Get on the air and watch how quickly you improve. You'll be surprised. And I think if you ask any other veteran operator as well, they'll tell you pretty much the same thing. They'll give you the same advice. Have fun. Enjoy it. Get on the air. It's Keith, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec, the shaky key. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, or share it. 73. Have a great day.